Good afternoon, Ascot Life Church. It's great to see you for today's ALC Connect. We're coming a bit later in the day today because we wanted to try something a little bit different. One of the tools that we've been using a huge amount recently is called Zoom. And Zoom allows us to connect together in a virtual meeting so we can have conversations with each other. Hopefully you've been able to find the address for that. The address is basically always going to be in the description of our YouTube video channel or our Facebook live channel. Also, it's in the e-news. But if you're wondering, it is zoom.us/s/882-941-2020. We'll have that in this description as well on this video, and we'll make sure you've got that. If you're ever asked for a password, you may not be. If you're ever asked for a password, the password to our joint Zoom meetings, whether it be prayer meetings, virtual refreshments, or afternoon connections, that password will always be 882941. So we're just going to show you what it looks like. So I'm going to connect. Okay, so to do that, we're going to go to ascotlife.church and /Zoom. This will then go as an alternative method to the Zoom web page. Click allow on your laptop, and then that will open up the meeting for our prayer meetings or whatever meetings you are going to connect to. And there you can see you're connected. So that's the other alternative, ascotlife.church /Zoom. One of the views that you might find the best is our gallery view. So if you click to gallery view, you can start to see all the people that are in the meeting. Now, when that happens, as you can see, there's different people who've got a highlight on their name. Simon's still connecting. But if you speak, you will get highlighted on the screen, and the little green and yellowy box will be around you. The thing about Zoom, it works brilliantly for connecting people, but it works really badly if we try and all talk at the same time. Now, it's great when we hear people's amens or the, oh, it's lovely to see you today. But if someone else is talking, that gets lost and we can only hear one person, and it actually sounds like things are cutting in and cutting out. So just to let you know, some of the ways you can solve that are by muting yourself. So if you're not participating, you can go down to the mute button at the bottom, and you can click on that and just mute yourself so that people can't hear you. You can have a conversation at home and people can still talk to you. So as you can see, Karis has just muted herself because she's got a cough. So as you can see, the little thing goes red, and you'll notice that when you're muted, that you won't be able to be heard, but other people can still be heard. So I'm assuming everyone in this meeting can hear me because they've not said anything yet.
I can.
There you go, there's Simon. So as you can see, very simple to use. If we speak one at a time, then we can all be heard. If we try and speak over each other, it can become quite frustrating. And even the small sort of amens or a loud amen or a loud cough, you can lose the flow of what someone is saying. So let's just be aware of that. But we wanted to create this little video, just some tips and for some tools of how to use Zoom meetings, whether it be for prayer meetings or whatever it is. One of the things that was brilliant last Sunday after Life 10 is we had our virtual refreshments. Oh, it feels twisted there. Look at that. I'll give you another tip in a sec on that one. But we had lots of people connecting, which was fantastic. If you're viewing on a laptop, it's really easy to see lots and lots of pictures. On an iPhone or a phone or a iPad tablet device, you will only see a maximum of 9 people. So you'll need to swipe across the gallery view if you want to see different people. But again, be aware that other people might be speaking. So if you see someone new, you might want to use the chat function, which is down the bottom. You can go to chat and you can write little messages there as well. If you want to send a message to everyone, or if you want to send messages to individuals, you can do that as well. So you can use the chat functionality as well. As Phil just showed you by twisting his iPad round on 90 degrees, always best to be in landscape mode rather than portrait mode, but it doesn't matter too much, but you just see more of the screen. One of the things that we are going to try this Sunday is something called breakout rooms. So if we have lots of people in, which is fantastic, we're going to create breakout rooms so that we can separate into smaller groups. We'll probably have groups of maybe between 5 and 10 people in a room. So when you join the meeting this Sunday, or at Life 6, where this week we're going to do something a bit different, have a virtual Zoom meeting on Life 6. We're going to create different breakout rooms, and we will be able to assign people to different rooms. One of the things that we'll do in line with that is also set people as co-hosts, so that you can then choose which breakout room you go into. So if you think, oh, I don't really know anybody in this room, you can leave it, do it kindly, and find another room in which you can join in and have a conversation with people. If there's a room where there's lots of people having conversations already, you might think, I'm going to go and find another room. Just so you know, that works on laptop devices. We've not worked out yet how to do that from an iPad device. So you'll be put into a room. If you feel you need to change room, then just drop the host, which will probably be me, a message, and we can move you to a different room. But we're just trying different ways to make it easier. For some people, it was brilliant on Sunday, having lots of conversations, and it was really easy. Love that connection. But for some people, they found it a little bit frustrating. So we're trying to find as many ways to make this work as possible. So an ALC Connect, talking about connecting on Zoom whenever we do that as Ascot Life Church. So I hope that was helpful. As you can see, the team are still there listening to me. But why doesn't someone else say something so you can see what it looks like as we have different conversations?
I was just going to say, Dave, that if you've got an iPad, the mute button's at the top of the screen, so don't go looking for it at the bottom.
That's very helpful. So if you're on an iPad, go to the top for the mute. If you're on a laptop, go down to the bottom for that. Some of the cool things you can do as well, just because it's fun, is you can set virtual backgrounds. So if you don't like your background, or you're a bit embarrassed about the decoration in your house, you can change your backgrounds, which is quite fun. Look at that, everyone. Simon's almost blurring into the background.
What's going
on? So that's quite fun as well. And we're just trying to find ways to help people connect in. So yeah.
I've become a beach scene, guys.
You don't look well.
Joe, where have you gone?
Just descending into the beach and into a holiday mood.
Some people have got nice backgrounds all the time. So Phil's got his bookcase there, so he wouldn't need to change his background. I'm actually flat out on the floor at the moment, so a nice room in the background looks quite good. So it's been great to speak to you. If you've got any questions, please do just drop us a message. You can email nextsteps@ascotlife.church. But hopefully that was just really helpful, very quick, punchy way of how to connect in Zoom, so you can see how to use it. Like I say, the address is in all the descriptions of our live videos. It will be in the e-news. We're just pondering about whether to put it on the website. If you, it will also be, I'm going to superimpose it over this video as we put this together today, so you'll be able to see it. It will be around here somewhere down the bottom, so you can go to the address, which is zoom.us/s/882-941-2020. And if you are ever asked for a password, it's 882-941. So hopefully that is helpful, and just a good way of using our ALC Connect time this week. This coming week, we have a few things going on. So this Thursday, Simon, why don't you tell us what you're going to be speaking about in the Thursday Thoughts?
Yep. So we've been looking at some questions in previous weeks about, if I'm good and happy, why do I need God? But this week we're going to look at a question: is there any evidence at all that God exists? It might be good that he would exist, but is there anything, that suggests that he might? Is there anything that can give me some evidence towards that question? So yeah.
Fantastic.
Tune in.
Great. And then Joe, you'll be connecting on Friday with the young people. Why don't you tell us about that as well?
Yeah, so every Friday we meet together as a youth group from 7 to 8:30 on Zoom. And we are working through a series looking at our worth and where our worth comes from. This week we're looking a bit at how where our worth comes from, and that our worth comes from God, not necessarily from other things around us. So at the moment, we're using a lot of social media. Do we get our worth from how many likes or comments or followers we have, or do we get our worth from God and from His love for us and His plan for us? So that's what we're going to be looking at this week.
Brilliant. Thank you, Joe. And Karis, while you're there, just want to say that we think the wildlife videos have been absolutely fantastic. You've done a brilliant job. We're excited, aren't we, that next week Tony Hall starts her job as our children's and youth worker, but obviously she's going to continue to build on the great things that you've done. What can we look forward to this Sunday from, are we still on prayer boot camp?
We are doing week 3 of prayer boot camp, and we'll be looking at prayer tools. So what sort of things we can do alongside prayer, so sort of giving and how forgiving, and what Jesus teaches us about that through the story of the prodigal son.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Thank you, Karis. Good. Okay. So that's what's happening this week. And then on Sunday, we'll be back at 10 o'clock for the live stream from the Life Centre. Again, Simon, due to me being holed up at home, not being able to move very much, Simon will be speaking again in our Conversations with Jesus. Richard Perrins will be hosting the meeting again. So look forward to tuning in to that meeting and seeing what God speaks to us and encourages us. We'll have worship, time to pray together as well. And then, as I said, at 6 o'clock, we're going to be doing a Zoom meeting for Life 6, just a time to catch up, connecting with each other until we get back to sort of what might have been the normal format that we had before Easter for Life 6. Anyway, hope that was really helpful. It's been great to see you for today's ALC Connect, and we'll see you soon.